One, go, baby.
Hey guys, welcome to the roundtable on this Saturday night. Season 2, episode, I think it's 9 or 10. Guys, thank you, Dallas Cowboy Fan 1990, for hosting the show tonight. I'm Dallas Cowboy Football News, the host of the show. We got two more fifth quarter Cowboys, aka DJ. We also got my Cowboys family, the next NFL network, going live all the time, guys. How has your week been, 1980?
Oh, man. Been pretty hectic, man. Work week wise, it went by pretty quick, but been planning for this trip to Disney, so been spending money left and right. Just getting ready for that. Keep an eye on the Cowboys just a little bit. Just got word today about Jaylon Smith. They kind of going into contract discussions with him and everything. So good to be talking with you guys, man. The weeks go by, they go by slow, but then they go by fast at the same time. It seems like this day comes up very quick. And it's always good doing the roundtables, guys. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Respect to the roundtable crew. Respect to everybody in the comment section as well, taking time out of their Saturdays to hear us run our mouths about the Cowboys and our thoughts and opinions. So go ahead and kick it off, big dog. I'm just going to follow. Y'all lead and I follow. Let's hit it.
All right. Again, my Cowboys family, fifth quarter Cowboys. I'm Dallas Cowboy Football News. Your hosting the show is Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980. I am the host of the show, guys. Let's get into this. I don't want to. We might debate. We might not debate. We might do something um, crazy, some nonsense here. But there's Zeke Elliott, who the Cowboys just picked up their fifth-year option. Jaylon Smith's contract, like 1980 just said. We got Byron Jones, Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott. All these guys are coming up for contracts. So there's five guys I just named: Zeke, Byron, Dak, Cooper, and Zeke. Fifth quarter Cowboys. I start with you. In those order, in that five that I just talked about, who's top priority and why?
Your file was Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper,
Jaylon Smith
Jalen
and Byron
Smith,
Jones.
and Byron Jones. Top priority, in my opinion, uh, you got to take care of the captain of the team. You know, it's just the way things are. In my opinion, like if I had to choose, I would choose the true MVP of this team, which is Zeke. Zeke would be the first one I hand a cash check to, but the team will only go as Dak Prescott go because he's the quarterback. He's the guy with the ball in his hand most of the time. Sometimes it's on the ground, sometimes it's in the other team's hand. But either way it go, you know, you got to make sure Dak is taken care of first. But like I said, if I worked for the organization, I would put my foot down and tell them pay the true MVP, the true workhorse of this team, in Ezekiel Elliott first. Then I would go Dak Prescott. There's no way Jaylon Smith is not like Jaylon Smith, what he has done, and I'm gonna tell you why I put Jaylon Smith over Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper is gonna get paid. He liked being in Dallas, but what Jaylon Smith went through in college, what he came back from, and what he has accomplished in this short amount of time when people thought his career was over, when they thought that the knee wasn't gonna regenerate to 100%, and for him to have a year like he did last year, that's what I talk about when I talk about playing players
All right, I think fifth quarter Cowboys in a bad reception. Fifth quarter Cowboys, we'll go back to you. My Cowboys family. We got we got Byron Jones, we got Jaylon Smith, we got Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and we also
the Cow.
he got bad reception, guys. I apologize. So we got Byron Jones, Jaylon Smith. He's still trying. There we go. All right. So my Cowboys family, we got Byron Jones, Jaylon Smith, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and Amari Cooper. Out of those five, Miss Fiance, I'll start with you first. Is the most important 1 through 5.
I mean, out of these guys right there, it's got to be Dak, right? I mean, you can't start anything without the ball moving somewhere, right? So, to me, Dak is the priority there. After that, I would actually say it has to be Amari Cooper, just because of the way everything seems to be going, and because of the fact that we have to do something about it now. And again, receiver wise, I think he just fits really well with Dak. So it's kind of like they play really well off each other, go hand in hand. So, obviously contract wise after that, I'd say Byron Jones over Zeke. Byron Jones, just because our cornerback position right now, again, where Zeke and Jaylon are, I think they're okay. I'm still a little surprised that we're hearing contract talks for Jaylon. So, I'd put him at the bottom of the list. Zeke is obviously above him, but Zeke's contract, I think, might surprise a little bit of people once it actually gets done, because I have a personal feeling that the Cowboys are going to tag him. So everyone else, contract-wise, again, Dak, Cooper, Byron, those are the three guys that I see the Cowboys really trying to sign and get a contract on. Dak is number one, though. What do you think, baby?
I mean, I again, when you're talking about my hopes, my choices, I mean, I'm kind of with DJ on this when it comes to, the true MVP of the team, that one that we really put the game on his back, and that is Zeke. But the reality of the situation, that's a big difference. What we want with reality is two different things. The reality of the situation is that Dak seems to be on the, as a quarterback, probably, you probably want to get your quarterback set right. With Cooper looking like he's next. And again, I'm not against what Fiance is saying. Her thoughts on this, not that it's right or wrong, but Zeke being franchise tag, again, we talked about this in the past, that, maybe the Cowboys just wear him out. I don't know if that's the plan, but maybe they want to make sure everything else is in place. I'm not really sure what that's going to happen. I think the Cowboys want to get all 5 of these guys, or at least 4 of the 5. And I say Byron Jones.
What order would you put them?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to probably happen. Dak and Amari Cooper, and that's only almost more on Cooper. But Cooper, because he's a first-round pick that you gave away, if you let him go, I mean, you just can't do that.
First-round pick and
can't do it. You cannot do that. I don't care if it's worth it, not worth it. You got to do Cooper, because that's a first-round pick you just wasted. So Cooper is second, and then I think Jaylon Smith. If the Cowboys can get a good deal right now, C.J. Mosley, I think, is $17 million a year, something like that, and you got the next guy is Luke Kuechly, about $12 million or something like $12.5 million. You can get him for 11, let's say. I say pull the trigger on that and sign Jaylon Smith now for 4 or 5 year deal. Again, everything around 4 years. But I believe that after those guys, Zeke will be next, and then Byron Jones. If he, depending on what happens this year, I think he'll be after that. But the way I look at this and all the contracts is that if you put them together, I don't care if they're getting $35 million or $4 million. The Cowboys are going to lock up these guys for the next 4 years. I'm thinking, give or take a year here and there based on guarantees and that kind of stuff. And they're willing to take whatever it is it costs and put it in a big package. And then that's what we're going to go with the next 4 years. And I am with that if that's what the Cowboys' plan is. So there you go. That's the kind of pseudo breakdown.
Fifth quarter Cowboys, if you're back with us and you got reception, I'll go ahead and let you finish. Let me remind you of the question. What contract is most important to pay first? Is Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper, Byron Jones, Jaylon Smith? The floor is yours again.
What was the last thing you heard? Oh, so you heard me talking in cursive. Got you. So, as I was saying before, in my opinion, because of, me, man, I see what you do on the field, and that's what I go by. Ezekiel Elliott was the MVP of this team. Ezekiel Elliott deserved to be paid before anybody, in my opinion. But, how things work, I'm pretty sure Dak is going to get paid first. But in my opinion, it'll be Zeke. It'll be Dak. I will put Jaylon Smith over Byron Jones and Amari Cooper because of what he went through, to where he is came. And, just never giving up, man. And seeing him have that type of speed after picking up that ball and running that touchdown back coming from a place where they thought the knee wasn't never going to regenerate 100%, I put so much respect on that. And he truly showed why he should have went the first round. He truly, like, and him saying he's going to be better than he was at Notre Dame, like just that attitude, you need that on that defensive side of the ball. So Jaylon Smith will definitely come. And the reason I put him over Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper is going to get his money. Amari Cooper wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. You know, he likes it down there, you know, and I think he liked the connection he got between him and Dak. And that's the only reason I'm putting, well, that's not the only reason. I'm also putting Jaylon Smith over him because Jaylon Smith been a Cowboy before him. And, you know, that's just a home team thing. Byron Jones for me, you know, me and you, Football News, we talked about Byron Jones. I like Byron Jones, but Byron Jones got to get some turnovers, man. You know, we talk about him being a shutdown corner, but towards the end of the season, it got real shaky for Byron Jones. So I want to see a full season of Byron Jones, of him getting takeaways. And, you know, you got, you know, because once guys realize they can throw it over there, they did it. I like his speed, his athleticism, but Byron Jones would definitely be my last priority over everybody else. So my order is Zeke, Dak, Jaylon, Amari, Byron Jones.
All right. Thank you for that. Dallas Cowboy fan, Power Man himself, 1980. Dak, Zeke, Cooper, Jaylon Smith, Byron Jones. What's your 1 through 5 priority wise? The floor is yours.
Here we go again. Another grown man's pockets. But it comes with the territory of being a Dallas Cowboy fan. I agree with DJ pretty much on this one. We all know Dak's going to get paid first. But Zeke, man, the things he's done on the field is unbelievable. Catching balls out of the backfield. You know, I've said this a million times on the videos I've made previously before. Does it all. And there's no question that Zeke should get paid first, but we know that's not going to happen. We know Dak, quarterback, you know, image, the demand, Dak's going to get his money first. Then you got Amari Cooper, Jaylon Smith, and Byron Jones. First, I would go Zeke, then Dak. Even though Dak is first, I would go Zeke, then Dak. If it was my team, if I was coaching the team, or owner of the team, rather. Amari Cooper, probably one of the best receivers in the game right now, just arguably. He's got to give me a full season. Got to give me at least that. I don't even think he should be in the contract discussion right now because he hasn't played a full season with the Dallas Cowboys. I probably put Jaylon Smith before just because of, just like DJ said, fifth quarter Cowboys, like he said, what he's been through, you know, the drop foot and all. You know, nobody thought he would. I made a video about this a couple of hours earlier today, around 7 o'clock. They were talking about discussions about, you know, Jaylon Smith's, you know, contract extension. They already talking about it. I'm like, ain't a little early for that, but this last year of his rookie deal is 2020, so I guess they need to start, you know, at least talking about it, and that's what they're doing. Jaylon Smith has been through a lot. He really proved himself last season, how much of a threat he is on the defensive side, especially with Van Der Esch coming in the show. There's no question that I think that Jaylon Smith should be third in line. Probably not going to happen, but just my opinion, he should be third. Then Coop, then Jones. I don't even have to talk about Coop. We know his resume. Byron Jones has arguably been one of the best corners in the league also. Now, true corners to us is guys that can make plays on the ball. But what is a playmaker at cornerback? Is it somebody that can get interceptions, or is it a shutdown corner? Somebody that can throw that way. If you were on the field, what would you rather be doing? Trapped on an island by yourself, no quarterbacks being scared of you, not wanting to throw your way, Not to say that that's the level Byron Jones is at, but he's been a pretty good corner as far as pass breakups. I think he came in second with 14. Behind some other guy, he had 17 or something like that. So pass deflections on paper, it looks good. But we're more concerned about turnovers. Turnovers win ball games. Turnovers suck the life out of offenses, out of a team, period. When you get a turnover, that other sideline, when you look over there, when you get an interception and run it back, or when you cause a fumble and your defense recovers it for your offense, it sucks the life out of that team. They're second guessing, they're panicking because they weren't. A defensive turnover is unexpected. It's not a part of the game plan. You get what I'm saying? It's something that you have to create as a defensive player. It's not something that you draw up. You can't draw up interceptions. You can't draw up fumbles or strip sacks or, things like that. So these are things that happen out of playmaking ability, just having that God-given talent. Some players have it, some players don't. Byron Jones, maybe he'll have it this year. Who knows? With a lot of film, a lot of practice, maybe he'll get it. But he didn't have it last year, the year before. Him starting at cornerback, going from cornerback to safety, then back to corner. It's kind of hard for him to really just, have the game down pat like that. But that's my order. I don't want to keep running my mouth. That's my order. My order is Zeke, Dak, Smith, Coop. Got to get a full season out of him at least. That's just out of respect for the other players. And Byron Jones. That's my order right there.
Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. My, get out of control. All right. I guess it's my turn. All right. So last week we talked about Dak getting paid $30 million. Now that doesn't take away the fact that, Dak's going to get a contract. If it's $30 million, I don't agree with it, but Dak's going to get paid. So he is in this topic of most important contracts, right? Because I want Dak on the team. I just don't want Dak on the team for $30 million because he just hasn't proved enough to me that he's worth that. So without further ado, Dak Prescott is in this discussion for me. But where is he going to be ranked, DCFN? Come on now you're just messing with me. So my top priorities, number one is Zeke Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott, guys. The monster, the creator of the offense. Without Zeke, forget about it, right? He's basically our Tony Romo of today's day and age. If we didn't have Tony Romo, we didn't win ball games. Ezekiel Elliott, if we don't have him, we don't win ball games. Ezekiel Elliott is number one. Then I'm looking at our quarterback. Nah, I'm not looking at our quarterback. Then I'm looking at our linebacker, Jaylon Smith, who fifth quarter Cowboys talked about with as much as he came back and he is a difference maker on that defense. He's better than Sean Lee now than Sean Lee ever was in his prime, and that is Jaylon Smith. The guy has a knack for the ball. He's a hard-hitting son of a bitch. He knows how to wrap up. He knows how to read plays before they happen. He is the definition of a Mike linebacker. That's exactly what Jaylon Smith is. Then we look at Dak Prescott. No, we ain't looking at Dak Prescott. We ain't looking at Byron Jones either. Byron Jones ain't even going to get a contract extension. So my next one would be Amari Cooper, the guy that took a 3-5 team single-handedly, even with Zeke in the lineup, who I just said was most important, and really paired up with Zeke and really took this team off. And then I'm going with Dak Prescott. No, since I'm placing an order, I might as well go to Burger King, Wendy's, Sonic, and then I'm going to go to Dak. Just because I'm placing an order here. I'm just kidding. Dak Prescott would be next, and then I don't think Byron Jones is going to get a contract extension. So, yeah. No, maybe I'm tripping. Am I tripping? Fifth quarter Cowboys. Maybe
No,
I
sir.
am. No,
No,
sir.
sir.
All right. Hey, at least someone agrees with me. So my order is Zeke, Jaylon, Cooper, and then Dak Prescott, because I don't think Byron Jones is going to get extended anyway. So there's my order there, guys. Any rebuttals, anything like that before we go on to the next topic?
Not on this side. I'm good.
My Cowboys family.
Good
All
to
good.
go, brother.
Dallas Cowboy fan, Power Man himself.
No, we're good over here, big dog. Let's move on, I guess.
All right. We haven't really talked too much about this subject here on the roundtables. We talked about him, but we really haven't talked about more in depth of what Kellen Moore can bring as a first-year OC, second-year coach in the NFL. I think second-year coach, period, in his life. Kellen Moore, guys, fifth quarter Cowboys. I'll start with you first. What is really the expectation here for Kellen Moore?
Um, it's a tricky one, right? Because if Jerry Jones is really done with Garrett, then I think we can really see Kellen Moore. See, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, and it's not going back to the whole Dak Prescott thing, but here's the point I was making about the 30 mil. There is so much that factors into that. You know, Dak got a new weapon and Randall Cobb full off season with Amari Cooper. We got to see what Travis Frederick gonna be. We still got Jason Garrett, and now we got a whole new damn offense. So not only do we got new players on the offensive side of the ball, we got a whole new offense. So it's so much goes into this. So as far as expectations for Kellen Moore, um, I think you could have put anybody in there with the talent that we got in Dak, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, and it would have been better than what Scott Lanahan did. Now, not by any means am I putting that whole season on Scott Lanahan because them players shit the bed a lot themselves. You know, Dak Prescott probably dropped the ball more times than I dropped pounds this year. And that's something you can't coach, you know. So I don't want nobody to think Kellen Moore, since he's young, that he's a Sean McVay or he's some offensive group, because what's in your head still has to be played out on the field. Like, you can be like, man, I'm gonna get up tomorrow, I'm gonna run 3 miles, I'm gonna hit the gym, I'm gonna get this cardio, and none of that's gonna happen. Or you could be in a fight like, I'm gonna uppercut this guy, then I'm gonna do that, then next day you know you wake up on the ground. So a lot of things Kellen Moore might want to do. First of all, you got to see, is Jerry gonna let him off the leash? Is Garrett gonna trust him? Because Garrett has grown under the mediocrity umbrella for so long, and the safety blanket, that I think he's so scared to try new stuff because he don't want to fail. But see, if Garrett really wants to remain a Cowboy coach, I think he has to let Kellen Moore show some of this genius that everybody says he has. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, the players got to be able to execute this type of stuff. So for me, I don't have no expectations for Kellen Moore. I just want Kellen Moore to go out there and utilize the talent we got to its fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. I want him to utilize the talent we got 100%. I don't feel like Scott Lanahan used Dak 100% or used Zeke 100%. You know what I'm saying? He didn't start doing it towards the end of the season. You know, we had Amari Cooper running a lot of bull crap routes most of the time. Most all the receivers running a bunch of bull crap routes all the time. You know, I don't think our full potential was ever used, you know, under Scott Lanahan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as passing the ball, or because when Dak, 2017, they tried to turn Dak into Romo. It was so stupid. God almighty. He clearly wasn't ready for that. Like, you can't, how he's gonna do that if his footwork ain't even right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's almost like how you gonna be a break dancer, but you can't even do the b-boy stance. My Cowboys family, you know nothing about that. You say you used to break dance, like you can't do a b-boy stance, but you can tell me you can get down on this cardboard. So it's like you wanted Dak to be Romo, but his footwork ain't even together to be himself. So how you gonna be another guy when he ain't even good at what he really do at the time? Because he's a lot better than he was 2 years ago. So pretty much my expectations are hoping Kellen Moore uses what we have to his full potential. You want to pay these guys, you want to get Dak $30 million, use him. Ezekiel Elliott, we man, listen, Zeke is a good catcher too, you know, but he's a running back first. Use him. You know, I love our offensive line coach. I just expect Kellen Moore to use these guys to their full potential. Believe in Michael Gallup. You know, use Randall Cobb for what he's good at. You know, what are you gonna do with these tight ends? Are we gonna let Jason Witten take all these snaps, or are we gonna get these young guys good and develop them? Those are the things I want to see from Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any crazy expectations. I just want our guys used to their full potential, and I'm not gonna have a magnifying glass on Kellen Moore because we got good talent, but you can't fix stupid overnight. You know what I'm saying? Because Garrett is still the head of the helm. So, you know, my expectations just I hope he use everybody to their full potential. That's it.
Dallas Cowboy fan, 1980. What's your fan perspective of what Kellen Moore should be bringing to this team?
Kellen Moore. Man, this is deja vu. Cowboy fans are, there are two things that Cowboy fans are, two words that the Cowboy fans expect from Kellen Moore. We hope and we wish. Those two words go a long way. We don't know. You got people throwing out there, oh, well, he was this in college. He was the greatest. He called his own plays. He did this, he did that. Just like the NFL players when they get drafted. We don't know.
Yep.
It looks good on paper. It looks good. Those highlights, they show you all those highlights and stuff. It's the sales. It's the sales of the draft. That's why I'm not trying to turn this into the draft. I'm just using the draft as an example. It's the facade of it. It looks good. Those guys, those athletes going up there in those nice suits that they probably fucking renting, making it look like, oh, I'm doing okay, and this is what we're doing. And so all those college highlights is just to make owners and front office personnel like this player. We don't know what Kellen Moore can do with head of command at the offensive coordinator. So we hope and we wish he can do a good job. See, you have to be able to have management skills too. It's one thing to call plays. You know, anybody can, not anybody. Let me rephrase that. Not anybody can get out there and call plays, but any qualified coach, NFL coach, can get out there and call plays. But as far as being a manager of all those egos, we got all this talent now on paper. We got all this talent. All these guys that signed, got Jason Witten back. Zeke's got a backup now. You know, we got all these receivers that can create space and get open. We got Amari Cooper, who's probably the best route runner in the league. We got Gallup in development, probably going to be the next Dez Bryant, who can catch balls in the back of the end zone while you're guarding them and all that stuff. And just like DJ brought up, is Witten going to get a lot of snaps, or is he just going to be a role player, or what? You got to be able to manage all these guys, because everybody, hey, I'm open. Hey, no, man, I'm open. Dog, you ain't looking for me, man. I'm open. I've been there. Hey, man.
Fifth quarter, Cowboys, can you mute your mic?
So it's just being a manager, being able to manage. It's easy to go out there and call some plays, but being able to manage and call situational plays at the right time for the right player, finding a rhythm, and trying to find that rhythm facing different teams. Different teams have different defensive schemes. Being able to do that, But everybody knows so much. All of a sudden, everybody knows so much about Kellen Moore. We were all like, God damn it, Kellen. When we found out Kellen Moore, we in the back of our minds, we already knew that, damn, they're going to move this dude up to. I know that because they didn't fire him, too. Because we were thinking, oh, well, they let go of Linehan. Oh, Kellen Moore should be out the door, too. Cowboys kept him, too. So we were like, you know what they're going to do? They're going to, and they did. They did it. So no matter what we think or how we feel, the Dallas Cowboys are going to do it anyway. You get what I'm saying? That's another reason why we all say that. The Cowboys are going to do it anyway. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. So now he's got this big major responsibility in his hands with all these guys that's, you know, played this game on different levels and have been around the NFL longer. Jason Witten's been around the NFL longer than he has. So how's he going to manage him? You know, because you got players like that coming out of retirement thinking they know it all, which he does have the experience and knows a lot. But, you know, just being able to manage guys like that. So it's just being able to do that. I'm just hoping he's able to do that. I just don't want to I don't want to think we're going forward and we're taking 2 or 3 steps back because that could happen. You know, we got all this talent that looks good on paper, but I'm not saying that Kellen Moore's going to mess up anything, but I just hope he doesn't. And I think that's what we're all hoping and wishing that he doesn't do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it with Zeke. You know, Zeke was complaining about, you know, the lack of reps. I made a video about this earlier in the week as well. That he'll probably be getting because the Dallas Cowboys trying to prolong his career. What's the running backs? Every running back from every team is doing that now. They're getting a 1-2 punch. Everybody wants that 1-2 punch. Get their main running back in there, starting, getting up the field, and give him rest, and then bring the X factor running back that can pretty much do a lot of things. Bring him in, and you know, give him a rest, and then Zeke. Okay, I'm ready to come back in. You know, but Zeke wants to play all the time. So, but that's what Kellen Moore's going to have to be prepared for. Maybe he is already. We don't know. We won't know until it's game time. Till the pads come on and we're playing again. Not practice. The game. We're not here. We're not talking about practice. We're not talking about practice. We're talking about a game, a game. You know. So until we see that, we won't know. It's a mystery now. Good topic, good subject, but it's going to be a mystery until we figure out how he's going to maintain all these guys.
My Cowboys family, Kellen Moore.
All right. So, I mean, not going to lie and say part of my initial excitement was just, thank goodness we fired Linehan. Like, I won't pretend to say that either because, you know, when we first heard Kellen Moore, it's not, you know, we weren't necessarily disappointed, but we weren't really excited either. It was just kind of like, okay, what's the plan here, Cowboys? Especially when we first heard Kellen Moore kind of straight up say, I am not Linehan and my plan is not Linehan's. Because that was everyone's kind of biggest fear, that Kellen Moore would come in there and just kind of same old. But the one thing that's been pretty clear is that Kellen Moore has something different to bring to the table. You know, every single, you know, DJ said it, 1980 said it. We have not seen Kellen Moore yet. So everything we're saying here, all of us, is just we still don't know yet. But from what we do know, the things that we have seen so far, honestly, I'm kind of I'm riding the hype. I'm excited. I think that Kellen Moore is going to do what someone in the Cowboys, you know, kind of head, you know, front offices haven't done in a while, which is really listen to the players and use their feedback and build a plan off of that. Because one thing all the players have said about Kellen Moore is that he really listens to them. He takes what they say into consideration. And I'm hoping that he takes that, involves it into the game plan, and that it doesn't get lost in the mix. So I do expect growing pains. You know, I do expect some of the same basic things, but I am excited for Kellen Moore. I think that he is going to bring something really exciting to the table. And I am confident that he's going to be able to do more than Linehan did as far as the general success that he could possibly have. But why did the Cowboys bring him on? One reason: they think that he can help them get to the Super Bowl. So that's not me being dramatic or overstating it. They wouldn't have hired Kellen Moore if they didn't think he could do the job. So, you know, this is one of the times where I am going to trust in that move in the organization, because so far, you know, we got to give him at least this whole season to play it out and see what he has to give us. So what do you think, baby?
Well, Kellen Moore, again, I think you all touched on great things here, especially with the mystery part of things. 1980 said it.
Yeah.
The unknown. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. Listen, let's be real. And for the most part, what we've heard multiple times is Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones, the front office, didn't let Garrett kind of interfere with Lenahan. Maybe they're trying to let Lenahan hang himself so it's an easier keep for Garrett. And maybe that's what he's been doing since they stopped having him kind of be more involved with the offensive game plan, what 4 or 5 years ago. So, but my thing is that when it comes to Kellen Moore, what can we expect from him? Of course, we spoke about the pre-snap stuff and the motion, and we know that. But I think that similarly to Lenahan, he's going to have control for the most part of this team, even though he's young, even though he's inexperienced. Even though it was his first role, and even though we all were calling kind of for his head, we assumed Lenahan and him would go together, but knowing more facts, he was kind of bypassed. It was really Dak and Lenahan talking. Kellen Moore was useless. So we don't really know what Kellen Moore can or cannot do. But I believe he's going to use these guys. So you see the Cowboys keeping Olawale for 2 years. You see the Cowboys drafting Tony Pollard. You see pieces to this puzzle still here, whether it's Randall Cobb or, being brought in, or Tavon Austin being there. Hearn still being there, a lot of fight for that third position, for that slot position. I wouldn't just crown Cobb the guy there. They got to still fight it out. So in the end, I think that he's going to use these pieces more wisely than Lenahan ever did. That's my opinion. I don't know what's going to, I can only assume anybody can do more of a wise job than Lenahan. But
we definitely got to hope so.
Yeah, but I think he's going to help us in the red zone, being less predictable, more creative. I think there's going to be I'm assuming that based on some of the stuff he was able to do at Boise State, but mainly because of what he said recently in his interviews, basically saying that he wants to use multiple offensive,
plays out of one
one package, one like a personnel package.
Yeah,
so
like
11 personnel
or 21, whatever it is. The point is that he wants to do a lot of different things from that one thing, kind of Rams style.
Right. And he mentioned that a couple of times. So not the Rams, but mentioning that kind of mentioning that kind of mentioning that kind of a kind of game plan, that preview for the Cowboys, what he's planning on doing with this team. But one last thing, even though in the past I say it's OC by committee, I still think that's going to be somewhat the case. It's going to be at least OC guided, because by committee, because I think that Nussmeier and Kitna and of course Garrett and Dak Prescott, which is what you said, baby, about the players. He listens to the players, so Dak is kind of the leader of the players, and he's the guy that's going to be communicating directly with Kellen Moore. Again, remember, this is not Lenahan. He's not coming into the situation. Kellen Moore is kind of coming into Dak's situation. So Dak is going to kind of, be his voice will be worth more, I think, when it comes to what his input and what Kellen Moore is going to devise through this offense to help the team on offense and be more creative, but also help Dak Prescott. And
Dak
that's
has
what we're
a
hoping
responsibility here too, if that's the case. And obviously Kellen Moore has a lot more than just going from, QB coach to this. So, but
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
What about you, Dallas Cowboy football news? What are your thoughts on Kellen Moore? What do you think he can do?
I'm hoping he can do a lot of things for this football team. And when the season ended, fifth quarter Cowboys and I were talking about we need somebody young, a young-minded offensive coordinator that isn't scared to take chances. And it's funny because I think that's who we got in Kellen Moore. And during about November, Cowboys blog, Joe, he put up a video of potential offensive coordinators, and one of the last candidates that he had was Kellen Moore. And I got to think of this, and you could check the comment section on that video. I put in there, I said, I don't think Kellen Moore would be a bad option. Because if you look at what he did at Boise State in Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, it just mocked the kind of fans that I am. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, he ran his own offense in Boise State. He knows how to change things up. He knows how to deliver the ball. He said that he likes taking constructive criticism from his own players. And he identified something to me that Scott Linehan has never identified. And that is Jameis Awalier, a former Raider fullback who's now a Dallas Cowboy, who just got a contract extension. Kellen Moore just said in obviously some video, James with the Raiders was moved around a lot of different places. He was utilized, more than just a fullback. And I think when we watched James Awalie's highlights and film, we seen some kind of excitement from what that fullback position could bring to this offense, and we got excited, but it never happened. I was thinking it was a huge upgrade from Keith Smith to James Awalie, just because that fullback could be used so much more than just a traditional fullback that is used in a West Coast offense. I like a little bit of sprinkle. I like a little bit of razzle dazzle. Quote, and I'm hoping that's exactly what Kellen Moore can bring. Now, I will admit, when he became a quarterback's coach for Dak Prescott, I was not happy with it. I didn't think that he could develop Dak Prescott. I was kind of pissed off about it. You go see the video on that too. Just wasn't happy about it. It just seems like we couldn't get rid of Kellen Moore. He was cut. He was released. He was practice squad. He was added back onto the 53rd man roster. He was cut. And it all stemmed from one guy. Scott Linehan, who's no longer a part of this Dallas Cowboy organization, which I'm telling you guys is fantastic news. And then Kellen Moore gets the job, which back in November on that comment, I was super. I didn't mind if Kellen Moore got it, and I still don't mind. I think it's going to be a good move. You got a young quarterback, you got young wide receiver, you got a young running back, you got a couple of young tight ends in there, a young offensive line. And Young does great. Now, I'm not calling Kellen Moore Sean McVay because, you look like what Sean McVay's done with that offense and how excited and they love working for him. I'm hoping Kellen Moore can bring that energy. Obviously, it's not going to be Sean McVay's offense. I just want that energy that Sean McVay gives his offense. I want that energy to be part of the Dallas Cowboys offense. And I don't want to be 26th in the red zone anymore. I got to worry about if we're going to give Zeke the ball 15 times a game. I don't want to have to worry about that. I want an offensive coordinator that can feed this offense, score touchdowns when you get into the money zone, unlike fifth quarter Cowboys on Madden, and play football. That's what I want this offense to do. And I really believe in my heart Kellen Moore can bring that to this Dallas Cowboy organization. Anybody got any rebuttals?
Talk about that fool from the Raiders of Wally dropped that. Ain't that fool that dropped that touchdown pass? And that fool talking about that fool. Forget that.
Was it underthrown or overthrown? Or did it hit him in the hand?
It touched his hand.
How much of his hand? 80%, 20%? What are we talking here?
Talking about that fool that dropped that touchdown. Go ahead.
Des Bryant dropped a lot of touchdowns.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Don't you do it. I ain't got the time for it. Don't you do this.
Des Bryant staying up all night at restaurants and stuff, posting Facebook Lives like he's some kind of cool kid. Like he's 23 again. My Cowboys family, you got anything on that Kellen Moore topic?
I got the time today, DJ. I don't know.
Y'all don't want to do this.
All right, so I asked the comment section to drop me 3 questions. So far, I got 2. I had to restart my laptop. My mouse wasn't working on it for some reason. But I'm so sorry that I forgot who asked this question because I had it typed out. But the question that was asked was, and I'll start with my Cowboys family on this. Sean Lee, can he play all 16 games?
That's funny.
Well,
I love this.
I mean, so here's the trick. He can because he's only gonna get like 2 snaps a game. I'm not even joking. I the way I see it breaking down is that Sean Lee could possibly last that long, and he should hopefully last that long. But we have to limit him to the point of barely even using him. We already don't use, a 3 linebacker defensive, however you put them, you know what I mean? We almost never have 3 linebackers on the field. So even when we have someone at Sam, which is going to be Sean Lee, it's not going to be very often, but all it takes is one, right? I mean, Sean Lee would be the guy taking 5 snaps a game and still getting hurt. So
see, I'm with you. For the most part, I think he could make it through, but I can't say that with a
And
straight
it
face.
hurts too because we all love Sean Lee. We want him to be healthy,
I don't-
but
I
the
don't know.
realistic
The
thing
thing
is,
is,
I don't see his hamstring
in
lasting.
his 30 snaps or maybe 40 snaps he gets at Sam, and maybe that's not my worry as much because it's so limited. But I think it's more when he comes in for LVE and spells him, which he will at times, or Jaylon Smith when he spells him at times, and for a couple of plays. But you add those games, those plays up as well. And I don't think he survives the season, but I think he survives more of the season because he gets limited play. So maybe he goes.
He makes it towards the end of the season.
Maybe week 10. That's it. No more Sean Lee.
Fifth quarter Cowboys.
Please.
Sean Lee, can he play all 16 games this year?
Uh-oh.
Okay. I see we got a couple people on here that had too many shots of the bottle tonight. First of all, Sean Lee can't even play full OTAs. Sean Lee is going to give us probably 7 games, maybe. And the rest of the season, first of all, I'm going to tell you what he's going to say. When they interview Sean Lee in Oxnard, Sean Lee's going to say, I feel the best I ever felt. Him and Tyron Smith do it every year, right on time. Right on time. Next thing you know, you're going to see pictures of Sean Lee at practice on the sideline working the cables, not practicing with the team. He's going to be working the cables with the training staff. That's what he's going to be doing. Look, I told y'all what they said the doctor said 2 years ago. They just not in football shape no more. They can't take for Sean linebacker whose burst depends on his legs to change directions. Every time he hurt him, he's trying to change direction or something. That's his job. I just don't think you can't get no new ones, man. It's like your back. You can change it. You can get a new knee. You can get a new your elbow. You can replace a lot of stuff.
Can't get
You're
no
replacing that one. You ain't replacing the back.
No.
So no, I think it's so. I would love to see Sean Lee play 16 games, but no. And I'm gonna tell you, man, Sean Lee is hearing how these young guys is balling. He's gonna overwork himself. Sean Lee, he just cannot give us a full season no more. It's unfortunate. I thought he should have hung it up last year. Honestly, I thought he should have just hung it up and became a coach because, Cowboy fans, we like to hold on to, some of our favorite players like Football News tried to hold on to Jason Witten. He held on to it, let him go. He brought him back. Oh, my God. So it's a damn shame Jason Witten hamstring is better than Sean Lee hamstring. But 7 games, in my opinion, and I'm not crapping on Sean Lee because Sean Lee, healthy, he's good. Probably one of the smartest linebackers to ever play the game mentally. Probably one of the smartest. The dude studied more film than the actual team he playing against. It was so sad watching that All or Nothing, and when the season was over, he was already watching films. Man, go home with your family. Go home. Take your go home, man.
Yeah.
So it's sad to say, but it's like that sometimes, man. Sometimes injury just hinder others more than they do some people, and it's unfortunate because he's such a good player. But Sean Lee is not giving us 16 games. Even if he's capable of it, they won't let him do it because they are scared. If you notice, once we got close to the playoff, they started resting him because they wanted him to play in the playoffs. So, no, Sean Lee, 16 games? Nah, his hamstring won't allow it, man. I say no. I say 7 games.
Go ahead, 80.
Looks like everybody got the coughs tonight, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. Sean Lee, it has to be really tough for him. Especially I had experience. I remember I rolled my ankle a game before, and The next game, my ankle was swollen. Oh my God. And I played corner, so we do a lot of cutting and rotating hips and all that stuff. Our next game was Highland Park, which Jerry Jones' son or grandson or whatever goes. We had to play Highland Park, but this is way before his time, just if y'all didn't know who Highland Park was. But we had to play Highland Park, and that's one of the toughest teams on our schedule. And I went both ways a lot that game, but I wasn't 100%. But I didn't tell the coaches that I wasn't 100%. Because I didn't want to come out of the game. I wanted to give my all. I didn't want to make any excuses or somebody to step in and, do a good job. But, we can rotate. No. I didn't want to, I didn't want to come out. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to continue to be a good defense as we were. Not being able to perform when you're out there is tough on a mental strain, mental stress on a player. Because Sean Lee knows this, and this is what's sad. This is what kind of sad and kind of sucks at the same time. Sean Lee knows. He already knows that he can't give us 16 games a whole season. But like DJ say, 6 or 7 games. He knows inside, deep down, he's not going to be able to give us a whole season. And that takes away your work on the field, how you're able to perform. Because in the back of your mind, you're thinking, okay, when am I going to get hurt? How long am I going to go with my, just like my situation, how long am I going to keep limping out here until something really happens? How long am I going to go before coach sees me, hey, come on out here, man, come on. So get in there, that's got to be really eating him alive to not be able to, So that's when I thought that last year would have been his last year, because if you can't perform 100% throughout the whole season, I know players get hurt all the time, but NFL is a young man's game. These guys recover. Sean Lee will never recover again. He'll get hurt, and that's it. He's hurt right now. Right now, as we speak, he's hurt. It's just the fact of how good did you feel today? And that shouldn't even be, that's damn near like a position. You got your starters, you got your second string, third string, and you got your guys. How you got your column where it says, how good do you feel today? Do you want to play today? I didn't think that existed, but with Sean Lee, it does, And you got guys, like Jaylon Smith and Vander Esch trying to grow, and they got to keep coming in and out and all that stuff. But they're moving them to the weak sides. To the strong side, which is a little bit more work and a little bit more hard. So I don't know. I think deep down he knows that he can't give us a whole season, and we know it. And he's, like you guys just said, mentally he's one of the best that played the game. He can read out plays so fast, but getting to that play so fast is the problem. I saw last season, especially in the Rams game, he was getting beat. He wasn't able to break on the ball as fast or get to the running back quick enough to stop the play. Saw a lot of missed tackles, arm tackles. So that's lack of not being able to use his legs for leverage that he needs. And linebackers especially, they're shuffling those feet, twisting those hips, making sure they open up right to where the ball is going, reading, using their eyes like Mike Singletary. They're doing it all. They probably move the most out of any defensive player on the field, the linebackers. They have to make the most adjustments and things like that. The defensive line is the first line of defense, but the linebackers are if you happen to get through them, you got to come through us. And that's not happening, so I got to stop you. So, with all that being said, I can't see it. Like DJ said, hamstrings are gone. They're done. It's time to start thinking about yourself and your family, but obviously he's coming back, so there's nothing we can do about it. So we just got to learn to deal with, as a matter of fact, what I just said, manage him, coming in and out, things like that. So hopefully it doesn't affect the growth of the younger players. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Oh, the torture is finally over. I just had to sit here and listen to 3, 4 of my colleagues project 6, 7 games. Absolutely, Sean Lee's going to be playing 16 games this year. Why not? He's playing a strong side position. Everybody always runs to the right side. That's where Leighton Vander Esch is going to be. If you run up the middle, that's where Jaylon Smith is going to be. Strong side is where Sean Lee's going to be. I mean, really, with the strong side, you really got nothing coming to you but some slants and maybe some jet sweeps. I mean, there's really nothing going on that left side of an offense. It's usually going to the right. A little bit of coverage, maybe more coverage, but I think Sean Lee's probably the best coverage linebacker in football. Sean Lee's going to play 16 games because of this move. If you think about it, check this out. A couple of years ago, before Ronaldo McClain and all those guys came here, Sean Lee was making the position change to the weak linebacker position because of concussions. Sean Lee was our Mike linebacker. When we first switched to the 4-3 defense, he kept getting concussions because he played too damn hard. The coach just said, all right, this is what we're going to do, Sean Lee. We're going to bring in Ronaldo McClain. We're going to put you over here in this weak side position. Boom. Sean Lee tore his ACL. So he had to play the weak side position the previous year, which it took away the concussion. The game plan worked. Kudos to the training staff, Jason Garrett, and everybody following through, moving Sean Lee to the weak side position. Now we're dealing with hamstring issue with Sean Lee. And moving him to the strong side position is probably going to be the best thing for Sean Lee and his hamstring. And I think he's going to give us – hell, he gave us 16 games – or he would have gave us 16 games in 2016, but they benched everybody that game. Even Zeke didn't get 16 games. Zeke still hasn't got 16 games in an NFL career because of various reasons. Sean Lee could have got 16 games in 2016. It's 2019. You turn that 9 upside down, it's turned into a 6. It's just going to be like 2016. Oh, and how many games does he need to play? 16 plus playoffs. Sean Lee's your guy to do it. Any rebuttals?
We got one.
You do understand that fool hurt his hamstring last year in the backfield by himself, right?
And it happens. I seen a kicker tear his ACL celebrating to make the kick.
You want to let me talk?
I'm talking.
You said he's not going to hurt himself because ain't nothing coming to his side. I'm telling you, he hurt himself last year minding his own damn business.
He rushed himself coming back. Everybody rushed him.
Oh, okay. Right. I got you. No further question, Your Honor.
Yeah, I got a rebuttal. Now, DCFN.
Yep.
Exactly echoing what kind of DJ was saying, but playing the Sam linebacker, that means he's not going to have a guy kind of covering up that front line. He's going to have he's going to be dealing with a lot more offensive linemen, guards, tackles.
There's no one between him and that lineman. There's no defensive lineman.
There's going to be a gap there, and that's the thing. He's going to have to take these guys on. He's going to have the help he's going to have as he did on the weak side. So I don't know. I mean, the limited snaps going to help him, but let's not fool ourselves. I think and it's my opinion, right, DCFM, but I think that. He might last the whole year, but I don't think he's going to be used as much or that much at all. And we'll see. I said 10 games. I said, and Beyonce said almost the whole year, right? So we understand that it's possible, but it's just we know the track record isn't good. And DJ made that point. So.
Oh no, absolutely no. No, Sean Lee's going to play 16 games, and I've seen Sean Lee bull rush a tackle. Coming charging at him at the mic position.
Talk about
the weak position. I seen Sean Lee blow the person up that was supposed to blow him up.
We talk about ancient history.
Football is a game of inches. If Sean Lee can get there first, it's less impact.
You crazy hell, bro.
On his body. And then Sean Lee makes the tackle.
Yeah, okay.
I think we all want the best for Sean Lee. We want him to play. We hope we can get him 16 games. This isn't a bash on Sean Lee or anything like that. We're just kind of being realistic. We don't know how many games he's going to play. It's just a topic, and it's just projection. Now, wanting somebody to do something and them doing it are two different things. I don't think Sean Lee can give us. See, I wouldn't even want him out there for 16 games. Like, seriously, I'm just being honest. I don't want him to hurt something that's already injured. I mean, it's already even more, So I'm thinking about him outside of being a player, Selfishly, as fans, we want him out there. We want him out there every game. But I think you got to be just a little bit realistic too, as far as his condition and his health. There's no mystery behind it. Sean Lee is, I think, my opinion, I think he's going to be like Witten, a situational guy. They're going to bring him in on goal line or third down, big third downs or something like that to come in and be a run stopper or et cetera. So, like Cowboys fans said, he's going to be taking on big 300 and something pound linemen on that side. There's more of a risk on that side, and that's that's when your legs and leverage come into play. So, just realistically talking, I don't think we can see it. We're not really just trying to be disagreeable, but we're just being realistic. Sean Lee, 16 games. If he does, hey, cool. If he does and it doesn't affect him, cool. But we already know it's gonna happen. So maybe we're wrong, but we'll see. I just can't see it. I can't see it, Sean Lee, playing all 16 games with no effect on his legs and hamstrings or whatever. I just can't see it.
All right, fifth quarter Cowboys. We talked about this. Now, guys, the position we're talking about, the famous Damien Wilson, who signed a major contract with the Kansas City Chiefs, played that position. Fifth quarter Cowboys. We talked about this when the season was over. How many starts did Damien Wilson have? Because the Cowboys usually start with 4 linemen, 2 safeties, 2 linebackers, and the rest cornerbacks, right? So how many times did Damien Wilson start this past season?
27 snaps.
How many times did he start? Like, as soon as the game started him in, he didn't start none.
He started 3 games last year, which Cowboys started off with a traditional 4-3 defense to start the football game.
They play a lot of nickel, cover 3. They had 2 linebackers in there.
He only had 27 snaps last year.
Right.
27 snaps. And that's
Sam linebacker.
Yep, and yep, that's what Damien Wilson was, and that's what Sean Lee's going to be going into.
Correct. 27
snaps. If Sean Lee can't handle that, then it's time to hang it up. That's why I'm saying Sean Lee's going to play 16.
You don't know how many snaps he's going to get.
And it's Chris Richard, Rod Marinelli offense. My Cowboys family, how many snaps was that?
Last year he got not him, but last year Damien Wilson ain't
Sean Lee though.
But I'm talking about the scheme. I'm talking about the scheme of defense they run. That's what I'm talking about. Fifth quarter.
You said it's a nickel. That's correct. That's basically our base.
Yeah, that's what we run. We run the cover 2 nickel a lot of times. So it's only 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, which is normally going to be Jaylon Smith and the tackler.
Bad rush.
You got 5 DBs, so really a 4-2-5 style of defense. That's our average
percentage.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very rare that we run.
Yep, and that's what's going to make Sean Lee play 16 games.
But that's what I'm trying to say, 1980. Not 19, DCFN, sorry. So you're saying simultaneously, if he can't play that many snaps, hang it up, but you're also saying he's somehow going to play like all 16 games. Again, the only reason that happens is because he's only taking like 2 snaps a game. So
that's all you need him for.
16,
that's all you need him for.
The question wasn't asked how many snaps he's going to play. The question was asked how many games can he play. He can play all 16.
He might put on a uniform for 16 games.
That's the question. He's gonna dress up. The question wasn't how many snaps he can get. The question was how many games he can get. Y'all got to pay attention to the question here.
No, you just switched it. You just switched it, boy.
My Cowboys family, you answered the question first. What was the question?
I'm trying to church it up, son.
MCF, what was the question?
It was similar to what you said. I mean,
okay. Can he play 16 games?
We have to take. We're introducing snaps into the equation because you got to look at what happened last year at that position.
Because again, when Sean Lee was playing all the time, he was hurt all the time.
He wasn't hurt all. Was he hurt in 2016?
Sean Lee was hurt
Was he
so
hurt in
much last year.
2016?
He survived 50 snaps. He's not ready for the NFL.
Was he hurt in 2016?
Oh my God.
No. 1 year.
Okay, it's 2019.
Okay.
One year out of how many?
Of a 50-year-old
Turn the 9 upside down. What do you get? You get 16. You get 16. You get 2016. It's gonna happen.
You do,
Oh
but
my
again,
God.
27. I know. We'll wrap it up, but if you really round it up, 27 snaps. Let's round it up to 28. Divide that in half. That's four. That's two. Again, that's 14. So for at least 14 games, 2 snaps, Sean Lee. Any more than that, and it's like the cherry on top. Either way, he's gonna be rotating.
Why play?
It's 16 games. It's 16 games. That was the question.
1 snap, 4th quarter, 2 minutes left on the clock.
Now, if it was a trick question, it wasn't really even.
Yeah. Can he play 16 games? Yeah, absolutely. And if he's done playing like Damien Wilson, which in a Chris Richard, Ron Marinelli scheme, he probably is.
Well,
he's going to play 16 games.
We want Sean Lee to play 16 games at a high level. We don't want to.
Oh, he's going to play at a high level. I mean, he's going to give those 2 plays a game the best he can give those 2 plays.
Yeah, look
the nature of the beast.
Boy.
Is that what we base this off of?
Hey, he's only making $3 million. He took a pay cut. Sean Lee, he bulked up. That's what Ambar Garcia said with her fine ass. Anyway, all right. And the other question by the fan, and 1980, I'll let you take the question first. Well, the other question by our viewers here was: is Jason Garrett on the hot seat?
Oh my God!
And if he is, how hot is that seat?
The question is on the hot seat. I'm so sick and tired of the question. God, well, respectfully, I'll try to answer it the best way I can. Lord, Jason Garrett. I don't know. At first, I thought he was. I thought that Jason Garrett was, but he might not be. Just because they didn't renew his contract doesn't mean, Dallas Cowboys gonna do what they want to do regardless. Depending on how this season goes, maybe. But this is something I really can't. It's a question that really can't be answered because we don't really know. Now, if we go in there and lose every damn game, obviously he's going to be on the hot seat. But I just think the Cowboys are trying to see how the season is going to iron out before they, either let him go or give him an extension. Or they probably just haven't worked on it yet. Probably trying to get the players out of the way first or whatever. I don't know. I said before, and I thought that Jason Garrett might not want to come back at all. This might be his final year. You just never know what the Cowboys are discussing behind closed doors. We don't know everything. They don't let us know everything. I honestly thought that Jason would, play out this season, see how it goes, and decide. That'll be the deciding factor whether he wants to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys anymore, or the Dallas Cowboys front office and ownership. They're trying to see how the season is going to go, and maybe they're going to let him go with fire. They're trying to let him off easy or whatever because he's basically family to them. It's hard for Dallas Cowboys to let people go. So who knows how this is going to play out. I would advise Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys, as well as the players, to ball out this year and have a good season and hoist a Lombardi trophy so we won't have to worry about coaches being on the hot seat and all that stuff. That's not a question I want to have to answer. I don't want to answer that question. I want to be able to just, get to the Super Bowl and, because winning pacifies a lot of things. So we'll see. Maybe he's on the hot seat. Maybe he's not. That's to be determined. As Cowboy fans, we don't know. There's no way we can answer that. Now, my opinion is those two that I gave you. Him maybe not want to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys anymore. Just kind of hanging it up. Maybe he thinks they're going to go to a Super Bowl and win it this year. And he can go out and ride off into the sunset as the Super Bowl winning coach for the Cowboys. Or the Cowboys are going to see how the season's going to iron out. And, let them know, we're going to extend you or we're not. So we'll see.
5th quarter Cowboys. Overtime Cowboys. Jason Garrett, is he on the hot seat?
Try to church it up, son. I was just gonna say a plain old nope, but 1980 made a good point, and I'm just gonna go with what he said. What if Garrett didn't want to resign? We don't know. What if he just said, we don't know how it went? You know what I'm saying? All we know he ain't getting extended. We don't know how it could have went. Jerry Jones not gonna go from saying Garrett is the right type of guy to not want to extend him no more completely. You know, Jerry Jones said you put the right guys around Garrett and Garrett to get you a Super Bowl. Now all of a sudden he putting all these guys around Garrett and he didn't extend Garrett. So like 1980 said, maybe he didn't want to resign. Maybe he wanted to win a Super Bowl or get close to it and go make that big college money. Hell, look, Nick Saban make $9 million a year. Look what Clemson coach make. Like shit. Well, he can go make more than what Jerry Jones paying him in college. Look what the Oklahoma coach making. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he want to have a good season and go down to a lower level where the pressure is not as high as being an NFL coach and be a college coach. You never know. So no, he's not on the hot seat. I think the quarterback is more on the hot seat than the coach is at this point. So my answer is no.
My Cowboys family.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let fiance go first actually on this one because I know I'm gonna be the only one with this one here. So go ahead, baby.
All right. Well, I've been, we don't like the carrot here too much. We don't like Jason Garrett, but, and again, not just to not like him, it's been year after year of consistently being inconsistent, a lot of mistakes, managing on the field and not being, ballsy enough until the end of this season. We just see him got a little more, risk taking and when it mattered towards the end of the season. So my thinking is this, I don't think he probably deserves it, but here's the thing, and it's killing me. I've been thinking about this the last couple of days, and if you guys have been watching the stream on our channel, you would know I've been saying this, and it kind of happened on stream, and because of my feeling that the Cowboys are going to be signing most of their guys like Tank, all right? And I'm talking about the main core of this team, Tank and these other 4 or maybe 5 or more guys. We'll see who else is on this list, whoever they can sign in here. But my point is that if they're going to sign the elite players on this team and pay them whatever it is, the rest of this open cap we have, except minus, let's say 20 million or whatever it might be to sign another 13 depth players, which was basically what we have room for, what we have to fill up at the end of, let's say, next season, start the next season. So my thinking is that they might want Garrett to run with this same group of guys. Continuity with Dak Prescott, Zeke, Cooper, the offensive line, which was drafted by McClay and all them guys, but also Jason Garrett's 2 cents were involved there as well. And of course, managing both sides of this ball, the ball here, offense and defense. Garrett's kind of like the team manager for the Dallas Cowboys the last 10 years. And even though I don't like him, what he's done, the clapping, all that shit, I do think that there's something inside of me that says this is kind of going through the motions. This is Jerry Jones saying for the media, for everybody, for the fans, saying, I'm going to make you sweat this one out. But I think whatever happens, I'm starting to feel like Garrett's going to be here for another 3 to 4 years, however long the Cowboys' plan is for the rest of this elite core of this team. Yeah, this team we have right now for the next 4 years that they're going to roll the dice on, in my opinion, with these contracts. They're going to go 4 years guarantees, more or less 3 or 4 years. Most of these guys will be probably guaranteed that. That's what they're going to sign Garrett for. And again, that's just my opinion, my feeling. It's a gut feeling, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Like 1980 said, if he shits the bed, if he has a horrible year, of course he's gone. And there's nothing that Jerry Jones could do to save him. I don't believe. So we'll have to wait and see, baby. You have your 2 cents on this too.
I need my tinfoil hat for this one, guys. So we all know how Jason Garrett got his job. Right? How did Jason Garrett get his job? Jason Garrett got his job because he started off on a lesser position with the Dallas Cowboys, and then he became offensive coordinator. And then, oh my goodness, next year he's head coach. All right, so when I look at this team and I look at the structure and I see Stephen Jones taking over, I don't see a team that's saying, let's settle for Garrett for the next 3-4 years. I see a team that's saying we can do better than Garrett for the next 3 or 4 years, and that's Kellen Moore. Huh. Baby Carrot. I'm telling you, I as soon as he was hired as the offensive coordinator, I had this weird feeling. I'm like, man, it's like the Cowboys are repeating history. They have this young, fresh, crazy offensive-minded guru who's going to come in here. He's going to change it up. He's the guy that we've all been waiting for, Cowboy Nation, right? obviously that remains to be seen, but it feels like the Cowboys are, like you said, baby, they seem to be taking some chances. They seem to be doing things differently. I can't say that this is the only reason Jason Garrett stays is for that continuity, because the Cowboys are terrified of making any change. Guys, I'm telling you, I think Kellen Moore is going to be the head coach next year. That's it. Book it. I will say it. I have a feeling that that's the plan. If all goes well, obviously, he has to do a good job. If he sucks, he sucks. Like, forget about that. But if he does a good enough job, Jason Garrett's seat might be a little lukewarm now, but it's going to be feeling real spicy by the end of the season. So that's just me. That's why I had to bring out the tinfoil hat for that one, guys. I had to. So
I agree.
There you go.
I agree with your tinfoil hat. Conspiracy theory.
I bet you get good cell phone reception with that hat.
Ooh, the best, man. I got the 5G.
You don't need to buy a $500 4G booster for that. 5G booster for that. I like that. That's pretty cool. Jason Garrett. Now, Miss Beyonce, she ain't tripping. She's sitting, guys. She might be right, but I'm gonna say Kellen Moore is still gonna be the OC, but Chris Rashad's gonna be the head coach. I think Jason Garrett is out of here. And all this talk about what if he didn't want the extension. Well, I'm telling you, the way the Jones family works, if you do them wrong like that, they offer you money, you take it. They're a class act. The organization, they know how to run a business. They're very successful. So, they offered Garrett an extension, and he turned that extension down. He would have been fired a long time ago. That's Jerry. I mean, look what they did to, Jimmy Johnson, and stuff like that. So I don't think it was up to I don't think it's up to Garrett. I really don't. I mean, that's just the way I see it there. But yeah, he's on a hot seat, and that seat is hotter than Ambar Garcia. Lord knows I haven't seen anybody hotter than that in a long time. But that seat is hot, and yeah, guys, if Jason Garrett don't get his shit together, less clappy, more coachy, he's gone. And Jerry Jones made a comment that, if we cut him today or whatever, there's four or five teams that would jump on Garrett. I don't really think that's the case. Because I mean, what on his resume in 9 years says, oh my God, this guy's a phenomenal head coach. Now, offensive coordinator, his resume as an OC is better than an HC, period. But that seat is hot, to answer your question. And again, I'm so sorry, my laptop went kapoop, and I don't know who asked that question, but thank you for your question, guys. Real quick, we got one more question. I wanted 3. I didn't know this was going to take forever. But somebody asked, and it was a good question. He said, if Tony Pollard, and this is from We Dem Boys, ! If Tony Pollard balls out close to Kamara standards, would Cowboys consider not re-signing Ezekiel Elliott? My Cowboys family, take it.
Again, I might be the only one with this opinion, maybe. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think that as much as I love Zeke, as much as we all love Zeke, as much as we acknowledge everything that Zeke does for this team, the way that things are starting to shape up, when you really objectively try to look at what the Cowboys seem to be doing so far, Zeke feels like the slight odd man out here. Like, Zeke and Byron are the two guys that I feel like are the biggest question marks on what are the Cowboys going to do, because they're right in that spot where signing either one of them long-term kind of screws you out of the other one, I feel like, money-wise, and tagging the other one, obviously, you're going to be paying it. Byron Jones, to me, is like out of the question for tagging, just because between what the tag will be and what I think, he should be getting paid. To me, it's like either sign him long-term or he goes. But Zeke, I think, is in the perfect spot to be franchise tag, and then he walks. Yeah, that's it. I can't really say more than that.
I'm kind of listen. You got to sign Zeke. I'm sorry. He's a
Oh no, I want to sign Zeke. I just, like I said, I think the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't think Pollard.
Feel different.
I don't think Pollard, even if he's Kamara-like, is going to be replacing Zeke. I just don't. I think it'll be that Zeke and Pollard will be used in tandem, and I think that's how you extend both of them. And so I think that if you have Kamara-like, abilities, Kamara-like, right? Like you said, he's going to ball. This is a hypothetical. He balls out that way. Then you use him in tandem with Zeke. Why wouldn't you? That's a Super Bowl right there with the offensive line and everything else in place. Cooper and Dak and the defense. Damn, you got a Super Bowl right there. If you got someone that's Kamara-like, yeah, you use both of them. You do not get rid of Zeke. You're insane if you get rid of Zeke. And that's my 2 cents on that. Sorry. We disagree here on MCF again. Split household, but hey, that's
lots of arguing behind the scenes.
no, but it's all in good fun. And hey,
know,
that's the thing is that we still will viewpoint, even if it's different. We don't. It's our own viewpoints. We have separate views on these things. So, what do you guys do?
Fifth quarter Cowboys. If Tony Pollard balls out to Kamara-like standards, will the Dallas Cowboys considering not signing Ezekiel Elliott?
Man. A while back you asked a good damn question like, do the Cowboys value the running back position? And I remember telling you, I think they value the position but not the player. And you could just look at the past. Like they love the position because the Cowboys is a run team. Like that's their objective. They run game. That's their game, and not everybody trying to copy what the hell the Cowboys do. Everybody want to get a good O-line. Everybody want to get that good running back and run the ball. The Cowboys have been that, once they got what they got out of DeMarco Murray, out the door. Damn, that fan gave you a 1,000-yard season, out the door. So I think the position is very valuable because that's why we pay our offensive line so much, is to move people, move numbers. But as far as the player, I don't think it really matters. Now, Jerry Jones loves Ezekiel Elliott. I don't want to jump out the window and say that they're going to throw Zeke away and just be like, oh, this is the guy, Tony Pollard.
Careful.
I know. See how they ripped me the other night. Tony Pollard hasn't been here to even smell the stars grass.
Right.
Like Tony, I appreciate the question, but when you show me a guy like Football News said that ain't played a full complete season yet and still was leading rusher 2 times, if Tony Pollard can give me that, if Tony Pollard can come in his rookie year, and just blow us out of the water as a backup like Alvin Kamara did. Alvin Kamara, nobody expected that out of him. And I still don't see because why would you get rid of a 1-2 punch? That's the only thing we've been missing is a 1-2 punch. The Cowboys wouldn't ruin that. Like if you show me the Cowboys keeping Tony Pollard and Mike Weber, the Weber kid, and those 2 guys are straight beast, and I can see Zeke being gone. But I can see Zeke being gone on a second contract, not no first contract. The third contract because his first one is rookie contract. But they definitely gonna pay Zeke right now. Zeke is gonna be here for the next 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like unless he just gets in a lot of trouble or he really, really declines really bad, Zeke ain't going nowhere. Other than that, he's gonna be here. Now, eventually, if these guys, like I say, I can't say that because I don't know what these guys are going to bring to the NFL. We can't talk about what they did in college. They were going up against linemen man, listen, man. You see what Connor Williams looked like his rookie year versus now. He's a man now. These guys coming in, they about to play against men. I don't know what Tony Pollard is going to do. But if Tony Pollard can even be a third of what Zeke is, and Zeke gets a good contract now, and he plays that one out. First of all, Zeke ain't getting 2 contracts back to back from Cowboys after this one. Like they just don't do that with running backs. They just don't. Like I said, Football News had that good question. I think they value the position, but not the player. I think the player is interchangeable, and the Cowboys look at how good you are. Can you do this? Can you do that? Think about it. Dan McFadden gave us a 1,000-yard season, and we drafted Zeke in the first round the next year. Like they don't care. Listen, they drafted 2 running backs this year, y'all. They drafted 2, so they did it for a reason. But I'm not gonna say nobody's gonna replace Zeke right now. This man is leading the NFL. He led twice. You know what I'm saying? It probably would have been 3 times. If he wouldn't have got suspended, but to say they're going to replace him, I got way too much respect for Zeke to say that, but I clearly understand what fiance is saying, I clearly understand it. I definitely get it because you never know with Zeke and you never know with Jerry. You know, I say he loves Zeke, but hell, he loved Dez Bryant even more. He loved Dez even more. That's really like his son still now. You know, so hey, like I said, unless Zeke just be a bonehead to get in trouble or he decline crazy, ain't nobody replacing him. When his contract up, they might just not re-sign him again after this next contract they give him. But replacing him, these kids really got to come in and shut shit down. Didn't mean to talk so long. Football news. Go ahead.
You're good, man. 1980. If Tony Pollard balls out to a Kamara standard, will the Dallas Cowboys consider not signing Ezekiel Elliott?
Who? Tony who?
Tony Pollard.
Okay. Oh, the kid out of. Oh, okay. Yeah. The reason why I said who, because I don't know who he is yet on an NFL football field. See, this young generation, they like to let those highlights pump their heads up. Those college highlights, they love to do that because it looks. Once again, that word facade is floating around again. It looks good. Oh, he looked good. He balled out in college. Man, he did this, he did that in college. The reason why I said who, because I don't know him yet. Ezekiel Elliott is our running back. DJ made a point, you know. Everybody, unfortunately, NFL is a young man's game, especially nowadays. The new generation. It's a young man's game, and everybody's replaceable. Unfortunately, everybody's replaceable. Ezekiel Elliott has rushed for being the lead rusher for 2. Should have been 3 if he wouldn't have, like you just said, got suspended. Probably would have been 3 with a broken offensive line. He's been the leading rusher on one leg for 2. Should have been 3 years. Zeke is a one of a kind back. You don't see backs that get caught in the backfield and twist their bodies around and gain 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 yards. That's those kind of things can't be taught. That's Emmitt Smith-like, you know. Not comparing to Emmitt Smith, just saying it's Emmitt Smith-like. The smoothness, the effortless in his running style is you don't see that often. He knows how to fall, how to get tackled, to not get hurt. You know, I'm not calling him Superman or anything, but he's just a one-of-a-kind back, and I just can't see the Dallas Cowboys parting ways with him like that. I don't think they're that cold. I hope not. I agree with, you know, fifth quarter Cowboys, and my Cowboys family, they made some good points too. But I think Zeke's going to be our back for at least the next 3 years, maybe 4 years, depending on how long he lasts. Maybe that's why they're bringing in, you know, younger guys. They drafted those running backs to see who can, you know, come in from time to time, be a situational guy to take the workload off of Zeke for just a little bit to prolong his career. I think that's what they're trying to do. Let's just hope what they're trying to do, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Familiar, that word familiar is goes a long way on the field. You have to be familiar who you notice remember when Zeke was out for suspension and Morris, good running back, but he just wasn't that Zeke. The line had to get used to his style. So everything it's a domino effect. Not one college kid. Now, maybe he might make an impact. I hope he does. More power to him. But he's still got to come to the NFL and do those things on the NFL field against grown men that's got wife and kids and families and stuff like that. I don't see the Dallas Cowboys just, well, Zeke, thanks, man. I mean, you never know because everybody's replaceable. It is a business. That's the business side of the NFL that sucks. But I hope that a guy like Zeke can stick around, or they let him stick around because and pay him what he deserved. Like I say, we all agree that Zeke should be paid first. Everybody in this panel, probably all the fans out there say, oh, if you have a loudspeaker that the whole world could hear, and they say, "Oh, who should we pay first, Dak or Zeke?" They're going to say Zeke. I mean, 9 times out of 10, majority of people are going to say Zeke because look what he did with a broken offensive line. So there's no question that Zeke's your guy. But this new guy coming in, I think he's going to be more of a situational guy, special teams, come in from time to time. He can even play receiver too. So another one of Kellen Moore's experience at managing. Also the younger guys coming in, what he's going to do with those guys and how's he going to manage that and everything. So, but that's just my opinion, I'm not saying that my opinion is right. It's just my honest opinion about Zeke. They need to go ahead and lock him in, like seriously, because he's a special guy. He's a special back. You don't just everybody can run the ball. You can put anybody back there and they can run the ball, but what can they do with the ball when they got it? What door will they walk through? What hole will they hit? So and Zeke has that vision, and you don't learn that right away. That's something that you always have, and a lot of people, it takes time to learn that. A lot of people, they just get it right away, and he's one of those guys that just had it right out of college. Look at his rookie season. Hell, he probably should have got rookie of the year that year. I mean, him and Dak were kind of neck and neck, but it looked better for Dak because he's a quarterback. You get what I'm saying? So, but we'll see. We'll see. I just Zeke's the guy, man. I'm sorry, he just is.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with Dallas Cowboy fan 1980 on this topic. We them boys. Great question. That's the name of the channel that asked the question. We them boys. Thank you for that question. But Zeke is now, and Zeke's going to get that extension. And I mean, back to the question I asked this roundtable. Do the Cowboys value the running back position? I think when you get a one-time generational back like Ezekiel Elliott, I mean, you take it and roll with it. It sucks that the average lifespan of an NFL running back is 5 to 6 years. Hopefully, with technology and medical equipment coming all out, I'm hoping that we can get running backs expectancy in the NFL higher. But right now, Zeke is the guy. Tony Pollard, I don't even think he's a traditional running back. Jason Garrett looked you blue in the face and tell you he can move north and south. With his size, I don't think he can. Cowboys blog in the comment section brought up he's the web back, and I absolutely agree with that. Aaron brought up he's a good kickoff returner. That's exactly what he's going to do. But for him to run north and south, for him to cut east and west on the drop of the dime, he is a running back. He did it in college, but in the NFL, you need a back like Ezekiel Elliott. You need a back like how we run in our scheme. We are not the New Orleans Saints. How they use Kamara. And now with Ingram being gone, they got Latavius Murray over there, and we're going to see what a running back like Kamara can do if he's getting, 15 to 18 touches a game. With a guy that size, he won't last long in the National Football League getting hits. Want a guy like Tony Pollard doing that for you on a day-to-day basis. So that's why Ezekiel Elliott is your guy now and forever. My Cowboys family, where can they find you?
What's up? What's up?
Ooh, wait, is it working?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So Cowboy Nation, you guys can find us right here on My Cowboys Family. We're live every day with the news, the info, the updates, fan discussions, your thoughts, our thoughts on the Cowboys, guys. Make sure to find us, like I said, My Cowboys Family on YouTube, on Twitter, on pretty much every single social media platform that you can think of. But the number one thing, and I got to show it off. It was a birthday gift from my mom. I finally got it resized, so it finally fits. Oh, wait, where's the camera? Here we go. Oh, there it is. Because you know what it's about.
Always.
What is it about?
One thing.
One thing. Go Cowboys!
Baby, that's right. Sub up to all these guys.
Go Cowboys.
Fifth quarter Cowboys. Where can they find? They need a compass. Where can they find you?
Man. Y'all y'all can find me at the 2022 Hall of Fame, because I'll be there watching Dez Bryant be a first ballot.
Oh.
Anyway.
The lies.
Hey,
The lies.
man, let me just tell my speech, man. Let me just tell them where they can find me at, bro. That's all I'm trying to do, man. Hey, if you not subscribe. I'm gonna do more videos, man. Fifth Quarter Cowboys on YouTube. I'll be doing 5 things Dak Prescott need to improve on. I will be careful 1980 when I do that video.
Oh man.
I'm gonna do it. I don't care. And I'm gonna have 19.
Don't be careful.
I'm gonna have football news as my guest. We're gonna go behind the scenes and we're gonna drop a major video.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. It's coming. So
Dropping bombs.
I'm gonna make sure I tag MCF in it so he can be the first one to watch it.
Bring it, baby.
Fifth Quarter Cowboys on YouTube. Shout out to everybody for staying up this late and watch us talk, because we crazy as hell, y'all. We all want to win, baby. It's all about Cowboy Nation. That's it, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, comment section. Y'all were a little dead today. We had, the comment section was moving a little bit slow this evening, but obviously there's graduations, guys. If you're graduating in this next coming week, or if you already graduated this past week, congratulations. It's a big milestone in life, guys. High school was just a stepping stone. There's more behind that door once you get that high school diploma. Don't get overwhelmed. I hope you applied for every scholarship there is to apply for.
There's a bunch of big titties behind that door.
Oh, I hope you applied for every scholarship you could apply for, and go out there, guys, and take this world and make it a better place. There's so much hate. Be the positive in this world, guys. And on top of that, you are a Cowboys fan. Represent that star proudly on this free world, they call it. That free world's a bitch, but you can make it better, guys. Congratulations if you are graduating. I mean, that's high school or college, guys. Dallas Cowboy Football News on YouTube. Dallas Cowboy Football News on Facebook. DCF News 1 on Twitter. And if you're man enough to talk X's and O's,
yeah,
slide in my DMs like a hoe. 1980. Close out your channel, baby.
I love it. That needs to be on a t-shirt. That needs to be on a t-shirt. And DJ, man, that needs to be on a Cowboy t-shirt. For real. But guys, anytime you ask DJ a question, hey man, what do you think about the Cowboys winning 35-0? Man. But anyway, man, once again, thank y'all for joining us, man. This late, especially. Thank you for taking time out of your day, because without y'all, we'd be talking to ourselves or each other. Once again, it was a great show, great topics, great host, football news. These guys, I love doing this. I take time out of my day, to do this with these guys. I didn't even know we were having a roundtable discussion tonight, but right at the last minute, like, hey, sure, I might as well, like I always say, in closing, guys, this is Dallas Cowboy Friendly Channel, where your opinions matter. What we say isn't written in stone or on anybody's gravestone or in the Bible. It's just thoughts and opinions about the team that we love, which is Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Like me and DJ always say, we're not doing any drive-by shootings. We're not knocking on anybody's doors just because they think differently than the next person. We don't play for the Cowboys. We're not in their scheme. We're not in their huddle. We're not at their meetings. We're on the outside looking in, just like you guys. We have to pretty much do our research. We're like little reporters. We're little reporters, like a TV show, like ESPN. We just create topics to talk about and how we feel and discuss them. That's it. We want to thank y'all for.
Can I add something to that real quick, 1980?
Go ahead, big dog.
When he says that, guys, we don't rehearse nothing. We don't know the topic until 5 minutes before the show.
Right.
This is raw thoughts that you're seeing right here on this round table. Go ahead, 1980.
Exactly. I'm glad he said that. Exactly. It's just freestyle. We just get on here like DJ on the 1s and 2s, Fifth Quarter Cowboys on the 1s and 2s. We just he getting the music. We just freestyle to it. That's all we do. It's just freestyle. It's our thought. There's nothing being rehearsed or anything like that. So we just come in here off of pure heart and love for the team. And to hear each other's thoughts, we may agree to disagree, you know, but hey, we can chop it up and laugh about it later on tonight or the next day or whatever. That's all it's about, man. That's all being a Cowboy fan is about. We're not getting on here fighting with anybody and making any rebuttal videos towards another fan or anything like that. That's small. That's petty, small-minded stuff, man. People grown, got lives, families, and kids. Nobody needs to do that. Nobody has time for that. If you do that, it's between you and your guy. You figure it out. But you guys can find me right here on Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980 on YouTube. Same thing on Twitter. Same thing on Facebook. But make sure you stay prayed up and cowboyed up, because you never know what the day is gonna bring you. How about this, boy? We out.